developing themselves. We do acknowledge that there is problems, whether economic, security, or political problems, but in the end,
but still there is a sense of belonging, and there is a determination to make Egypt better.
Absolutely, and youth started to feel that, and we've seen that in different where they are being called upon to participate. So definitely we're going to have a better future with the participation of youth.
Definitely. Basem, how is the youth participation making a difference? And in what way is the sense of belonging enhanced by your sharing? How do you feel it?
The youth participation is critical, and as you mentioned before, it's one of the main basics of community.
Right.
By participating of the youth, they are able to get solution or solutions of problems out of the box that traditional old people hasn't been aware of that. Also by the participation of youth.
New blood, energy,
yes.
driving force. Yeah.
Yes, their driving force.
Right. And Nahla, he's talking about, Basem is talking about ideas out of the box, and we usually hear this term, you know. Do you engage in like ideas out of the box while you youth are quite capable of doing so through, you know, learning by distance, through exchanging expertise with other youth, and also telecommuting at university? Tell me more about this experience.
We do. We like ideas out of the box, especially in the time being. Actually, in our university, they are trying to exchange, so we can, you know, exchange cultures and know better. We have better programs in our university, so we can learn abroad from other cultures, other universities. Also, they try to motivate us to take masters in different degrees to learn better in the future, so we can give better to our country. Since we are motivated that we have opportunities here in the country, not in someone else, in other places. I mean.
Right. So talking about opportunities, Professor Mehana, and both Nahla and Basem are talking about ideas out of the box.
That's right.
And that is quite interesting, because they feel they have something to add, and they feel also that it is important to listen definitely to seniors' advice and those who are experienced, but still they have something to offer.
Absolutely. A number of universities have started now the new centers for entrepreneurship and small business development, and youth have a lot to offer in terms of ideas. They enjoy the creativity, they enjoy wide knowledge of modern technology, new methods for management, and I think this is what we need to utilize. And we've seen President Sisi over the past 2 years basically engaging with youth, and a few weeks ago announcement of the database that basically becomes a centralized database that includes all the theses, research projects from universities, all will be at the fingertips of the officials in government. And this is basically reflects very important aspect that's used in modern world and in developed countries, basically is the ties between universities and research institutions and the government organizations as well as commercial businesses. So the ties between the two, universities have the expertise and the manpower to make research and can be funded through the commercial organizations and the government. So definitely we will see a lot better initiatives coming out of the box, as Basem said, definitely, and particularly at universities here, we've seen quite a lot coming out, and it's been submitted to the government for development and the implementation of such new ideas. It's definitely great.
Right. Basem, if I would ask you about like an example of one of those ideas that you're talking about, ideas out of the box, what was that idea, and in what speciality, in what field?
In field of inventions.
Creativity and inventions.
By making advertisement on things that people see all the time, like on some young inventor or advertised on metro tickets, that we should advertise on metro tickets, that government will gain much because of such advertisement.
Right. So here is a good idea.
Absolutely.
The metro and the people like they use the metro daily.
All
So
the time.
this is a matter of disseminating more info concerning commodities, concerning how the country would gain. Nahla, you have something to add here.
I'd like to talk about the recycling process in Egypt. I think it's an idea outside the box. Like it supports our economy if we are interested, though, in such an activity. That was my graduation project, actually, in my university. So out of the statistics, we learned, we gained information that it's going to help the country move forward if people, especially households, are interested in such activity, separating the waste. And it's a small activity that everyone can indulge in.
That's great, and I'm gonna be back to this recycling project issue because yes, it's out of the box. You see how youth are just thinking out of the box here on Nile TV International on the Daily Debate. We're trying to pop up with new ideas to see how the youth are engaged in Egypt, the future. A short break and we'll be back. Yes, بنكمل حلم بكرة. We are continuing our dream for tomorrow. Definitely the dream is for a better future for the country. Professor Mehana, if we're talking about the right programs that we should engage the youth in, we need to prepare them for the market. We need to provide them with more self-confidence. What would you tell me about this?
At some of the universities, I'm involved in a number of projects where we create centers for research and entrepreneurship and small business development, where we take their graduation projects, as with Nahla and Basem, to sell these graduation projects to commercial companies or offer them to the government, where a lot of them come out with inventions basically that can be in the field of machinery, can be in weapons, can be in chemicals, and basically create that link between young inventors, as Basem said, and the government on one side, or the commercial field on the other side. I think what we are working on at this point is the cultural awareness. Young generations, unfortunately, they haven't witnessed really the sacrifices made by our army and our police force and the older generations, talking basically about 56 and 67, 73, up to 79, and started the development and a lot of mega projects like the High Dam, etc. So what we try now is bring that image to them so they can be really fully aware of their own history and build onto that and basically continue and carry basically the flag of Egypt. And this is really what we focus on at this point, because cultural awareness is the first important factor. And Basem has been with me in a number of sessions that we basically doing. Nahla from one of the universities in October been done that, and we go in next week to her university. But Basem has been with me at our university, basically engaging, trying to explain to the youth basically the different types of wars, how basically the fourth and fifth generations of war. And here we're talking about basically explaining the conspiracy on Egypt on one side, and motivating youth to basically get involved in development, because the people that run the conspiracy in Egypt will never leave us continue on our development plan. So they always try to hammer our youth and mislead them. And this is really what we're trying to work on in two parallel directions. Basically, number one, work on development, qualifying youth, on the same time explaining to them what is being happening around us so they can basically participate with the knowledge.
Right. Basem, as Dr. Mehana was saying, that engaging the youth and raising their sense of awareness is very important. So what did you learn at those symposiums or those seminars, and how is the outcome quite beneficial to you?
The awareness